This is Ladyvee DaPoet, and I'm representing for Real Talk with Pasha B. It's real talk, real discussions, and an all-around great mature time. Tune in and get your shine on.
Get ready for Real Talk with Pasha B in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey everybody, this is Shanika coming to you with Real Talk with Pasha B. Today we'll be talking about dating woes. Of course, we have our host, Pasha B. Pasha,
Hey everybody.
how you doing, girl?
I'm good, girl. How you doing?
I'm good. We also have two guests sitting in with us today. We have Miss Ladyvee, the poet. Miss Ladyvee, how are you today?
Fabulous.
Awesome. And bringing the male perspective, we have Mr. Will E. Mr. Will E. What's up?
Hey, how you doing?
We're doing fine. Pasha, go ahead and take it.
All right, so today's show, we are going to be talking about dating woes. That would be our good experiences. Probably not too many because we did a poll and some of the responses that we got were actually a little bit funny. So we're talking about dating woes, the good, the bad, the ugly.
They were not funny. They were concerning.
They were funny. They
thought
were funny.
I'm concerned.
Okay.
I'm concerned that people really aren't dating.
Some people don't even know what dating is.
I know.
So we're going to be talking about dating, good, bad, and the ugly. And then we're going to be breaking that down, hopefully shedding a perspective on the dating scene in 2017, I'm going to say. Because it's a little bad. We're going to start out with Will. How about that?
Alrighty.
So what do you think, or how do you think dating is going in 2017?
Well, I believe that dating is a lot of the perspective of dating has changed over the years, being a little older. A lot of things now is based on materialistic things and what you have, what you don't have, where you work, what type of vehicle you drive, what type of house you live in. And dating in Atlanta is a little difficult because you have a lot of entertainers and athletes and all these guys making
And
all this money.
wannabes.
Yes, a lot of
Wannabes. I think we have a lot of wannabes out there.
and you have them throwing money in the wind like it's nothing. You have somebody making decent money.
Mm-hmm.
Not
You can
willing,
take care of some things.
not willing to just throw $500 down for a night, with the end result being get into bed with someone.
Mm-hmm.
It's changed a little bit. So you have some females that's been through those experiences with those type of men, and when you come across a good guy, they want to just take you out and have a nice time. The end result is always the thought process is getting in the pants, and that's not always the case.
So I hear you, but from what I see a lot of women who are doing very well, especially in Atlanta. And I see women who are willing to take care of men where that's not an issue. So listening to you say that that's been an issue for you, like, where do you go to meet these, or do you go anywhere or whatever? Because I see a lot of women who are willing to cater to you. And you're a nice looking man. I know y'all can't see Will, but he nice. What you about? 6'2", 6'3". He cut, bald head, light skinned it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know you don't have a problem.
Well, I'm just saying here there are a lot of successful ladies, but some of them are like career oriented, and the dating is not a priority, which is understandable. But I'm just speaking on the ladies that's been in relationships that's been messed over, and you come across one of those ladies that's had that bad experience, and they take it out on the next guy. So that's the point that I was making.
Lady V, what you think about what he just said?
Well, I mean, the bulk of what he said is true when it comes from a male perspective, that there's a lot of women in Atlanta that date for the particular reason of, oh, I'm going to get free dinner tonight. Or, oh, I'm going to, get my nails done, my hair done because I'm dating this guy that's got all this money or whatever. They search out a man that's got, his finances straight or whatever because that's like the main goal, not for love, but I'm going to see how much I can get. I mean, that's a terrible way to date somebody when there's no love, there's no emotion or whatever. It's just like, hey, can you pay a bill? That Beyonce song, can you pay my bills? But yeah, I mean, especially in Atlanta when you have so many things to do, entertainment wise and blah, blah, blah. If a woman don't have it, they're going to look and see, what man's pocket I can get into. And that's really sad to say.
Is that because, do you think the dating pool has become not as bountiful? Not a lot to choose from?
When people say the ratio in Atlanta, there's definitely more women than men. It's like, the men come to Atlanta to find a woman because Atlanta's full of women. And so...
do men come to Atlanta to find a woman, or do they come to Atlanta to find a good time? Or to have a good time?
That's definitely a good thing to consider, too, because it's just like you have so many counties. You can have a girlfriend in Alpharetta and Marietta and Smyrna, and you can bounce around and nobody will ever know.
Well...
You're laughing. What you got to say, Will E?
That is rather funny, but I mean, it could be true if you're that type of guy that wants to have a lady in different counties, and you could do that, but I think that's based on the individual and the age and the maturity of that person. Because if you are someone that's out, like you say, some guys come here for a good time. Mm-hmm. If you are here looking for a good time, then a good time can be had in Atlanta.
Absolutely.
So if that's what you're looking for, then hey, feel free. But for those that are looking for a relationship, it's hard. Well, I keep saying hard. I don't want to say hard, but
it's a challenge.
It's a challenge because of things that happened in the past with past relationships.
So are you saying that you feel as though women tend to carry the baggage of past relationships into the present, therefore dating experiences, I'm going to say at least for you, you've had this issue?
I've had the issue. It's not all. Mm-hmm. I feel that most ladies are willing to give a brother a chance, despite what's happened in the past. But if it's like one little flag, it's like, oh shit, here we go.
What does one little flag look like?
One little flag looks like if, just say you're going out or you're dating and you set a time and maybe you don't meet at that particular time.
So that's funny because I follow Lady V on social media. And one of the reasons why I asked her to come on the show, because she's very candid about life experiences, I'm going to say. Yeah. And I saw her post something recently about the same situation that you're mentioning. So I'd like her to chime in on this one, if you will.
About like being late for different things?
You posted something about basically after someone has not fulfilled or have made plans over and over again in a period of time. Maybe he's not interested, or right. You just need to cut your losses from a female perspective.
Because it's just like you keep on making plans, and then you keep on, if you get stood up more than 2 or 3 times, it's like, okay, well, my value is just, I'm starting to get low self-esteem from this person. And I'm just like, hey, if you don't want to be with me, then fine. I can be with somebody else that values and respects my time.
Right.
So it's not really just like, cutting guys left and right or whatever. It's respecting people's time and just saying, hey, I'm worth more than somebody that's going to stand me up.
And not even make a phone call?
And not even say, if you make a phone call and say, hey, I got caught in traffic, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. If you just don't say nothing, that's disrespecting somebody in a relationship, in a business type of thing, or even just a friendship. If you don't respect somebody enough to say why, then, whatever. We don't need to hang together.
So, that could very well, as you were saying, things that happen in past relationships spilling over to the present. So if you've had experiences where a guy has stood you up, whether it be 1, 2, 3, or 20 times, that is probably a red flag for some people, because I think there is some truth in the saying, people make time for what they want to make time for.
Right.
That's true.
I agree.
So if you made plans with someone and stood them up, especially if you didn't call or didn't say anything, then that means that you probably wasn't that important to you. That person, or at least the person, is going to feel that they weren't important to you at that point in time, and that's why you did what you did.
Right. I mean, I agree with that, but going to that extreme of not calling, that's beyond.
So from a male perspective, the not calling, that's just disrespectful.
Oh yeah, that's completely that's unheard of. Well, I don't want to say unheard of, because
it's heard of.
It's heard of. I'm just going to say that is the ultimate disrespect of not calling.
So, are you saying a PSA for ladies? Don't deal with someone like that?
I don't want to say don't deal, but like Ladyvee was saying, a couple of times, no. One time,
because like I'm saying, I mean, in a love relationship, that's one thing. Even in a friendship, you would call and say, well, man, something came up or whatever. If you don't even have the same respect for me as a friend would,
you're absolutely
then, oh my
right.
goodness.
Or how about, I just don't want to go.
Right, just be honest. I love honest people. It
That's,
saves a lot of time when you're honest.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand. Just, you don't know what the other person is looking for.
Right.
The person can be looking for someone just to go to the movies with. If you just want to go to the movies and the person is leaning more towards a serious relationship, then just say it up front.
Right.
Or if you just looking for sex,
right,
how do you know this person ain't just looking for sex? So you say, hey, I know it may be harsh, but look, this is what's going on.
So I have a acronym that I use. It's called EIC, and I know it sounds funny. You think we're talking about taxes, but we're not. So EIC actually stands for expectations, intentions, and communication. So I think EIC works not only in your professional life, but it works in your personal life, and even more so in your personal life. If you think about what that is, what it is, what each word means, and what you want it to mean for you and your relationship, you will probably, you may not get yourself into too many things or too many situations that you don't want to put yourself in. For example, expectations, right? So everybody should be aware of what you are expecting from someone and what, in reverse, you're expecting for that person to do for you. So if you don't have an expectation, you're going to be lost. Intentions, when you meet someone, especially in a male, female, or a romantic type situation, there is an intent, right or wrong.
Right.
So if you're honest with what your intent is and communicate that intent, sex, relationship, whatever, fun time, I think that will eliminate and probably alleviate people having their feelings hurt.
Tires getting slashed.
Yeah. Stalked.
Right. Miscommunication.
Yes.
If you're unavailable, and and the definition of unavailable, I know, is different for a lot of people.
I want to hear this.
To me, unavailable is unavailable. Like,
yeah.
People tend to use that word to conform to what they want it to mean. If you're married, I think you're unavailable.
You should be unavailable.
If you're,
we have some swingers out here.
You should be unavailable if
you're
married.
So we're talking.
There's a lot of swinging in Atlanta.
Well, we're talking about dating. This is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't.
They date.
The traditional way.
We're talking
of
about
marriage,
traditional
you should
dating.
be unavailable.
Right. I don't think when you're married, dating comes into play.
Unless you're dating your husband
Unless
or your
you're
wife.
dating your husband. So from a traditional standpoint of dating, unavailable is unavailable. If you're married and you're not talking to your wife this week, you are unavailable.
But what about we separated? Like, we don't live together.
I'm going to let y'all talk about that. I would like, because that was something that I had a question about: if you're separated, are you unavailable or are you available?
Are you separated and living in the same house? Or are you separated and
sleeping
living
in the
in a
same bed?
different state?
Well, that's just because my money not right. See, when my money get right, I'm
What
gonna
had
move
happened
out.
was
But I'm not. We not having sex or anything. But you know,
I still got
right
this ring
now,
on my finger though, but
I'm
still.
just saying, you know, because I don't want to hurt her feelings, right? So I get my money right and move out. You know,
Mhm.
So, is there factors to being separated?
there's levels to this thing.
There's definitely levels because it goes both ways. I mean, where are you living? Your mate can be in Texas.
So if you are separated and have different residencies or residents, then you are available to date.
Everybody looking at
No, I just feel if you're married, then you shouldn't date anyone but your spouse.
Okay. But if you are separated is still married. So if you're
Separated with the intentions of getting a divorce.
There you go.
with intentions on getting a divorce.
Yes.
Okay. So if you, not that you're separated because things aren't working out right now, but your intention is not divorced. Your intention
I
is
get my money right. You know,
I need a break.
I need a break. Oh, can we break?
A marriage break?
Can we
Okay.
break from marriage?
I've heard that.
A marriage break with staying together for the kids.
Yes.
You know, that's another criteria.
Sake of the kids.
Because I've heard that.
I'm living upstairs. They living downstairs.
Okay, so in that situation, are you available to date?
I believe that you might be because, I mean, if you're getting ready to divorce or you're getting ready to leave or whatever, you need to, line your other people up.
Okay, so let me ask this question. So do you think that there needs to be a period of time that you need to sit down and be by yourself? Because I don't think I would want to date someone who is in the process of you still living in the house. You wait to get
I'm
your
a very
money.
jealous person too. I
Like,
can't do that.
Because there's no closure, and I don't think they've had an opportunity to kind of rectify in their mind or reconcile in their mind what they're going through. You know, be by yourself for a minute, sit down, relax, find yourself before you come knocking on my door trying to take me out.
And there's a baby mama in the picture like all the time. It's just like,
Yeah.
Or baby daddy now.
Or baby
Or baby
daddy.
daddy. You right.
Exactly.
You right.
Yeah.
You right. 'Cause you
But
gonna have to
that-
scrap.
That break, or I believe it's needed if you're in a relationship and they say the rebound dating.
That's real.
Past experience, it's real, but it's not
That's
good.
real. That's real.
You need
You been the rebounder
Mental-
or the reboundee?
I've been on both sides.
Mm.
So getting that mental and physical break away is best.
There you go. Write it down. Write it down. Bumper sticker.
Okay.
You talking to the fellas now, right? Because they primarily need to know this.
Yeah.
I think women are okay with taking the break, but men, it's like, I'm just throwing it out there that you all are okay with going from one to the next, even if it's just for physical satisfaction.
Speaking of that, there is a difference because
Educate me.
ladies, you all have different things if it comes to pleasing yourself. Hold up. Hear me out. Hold up. No. Hear me out.
I didn't know we was going there.
That wasn't in my notes.
Because listen, you said the physical. You said men and physical.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't know anybody with a blow up doll. Personally.
You don't have to have the dog,
I'm
man.
just-
they got
no.
the booty. You can just buy
I'm
the
just saying,
booty. They
every-
got the handheld.
Right. But I don't. Yeah, nah.
A man probably be too embarrassed to go in Starship and buy that.
I
for
mean,
himself.
you gonna
Right.
literally go in and buy.
Well, let me
A
just
booty.
say, I used to be a consultant. I'm not going to name the company, but I used to be a consultant for one of these adult novelty.
Yes.
One of these adult novelty companies, and I will say there are options for you men. We will come to your house. You can order online. You don't have to go into the Starship.
So
I just don't.
So let me ask a question about that. Is it about always? And when I know we're talking about the physical, is it about the actual release, or is it about the being with, even if it's just a woman for the night? Is it about that? Is it about busting a nut, or is it about getting
the connection with somebody else?
And I'm not right, and I'm not even talking about
body.
the warm body, not the love perspective, the warm body that comes with a female.
Well, that depends on the individual. I can't speak for every guy. Some people just want that warm body or companionship. Others just want to bust a nut. They don't even care. I know guys that, look, you get out of a relationship, you call your little
Standby.
Side chick.
standby,
Your fun
side
girl.
chick, whoever she may be, and you call. I'm out of this relationship. What you doing tonight? Nothing. Okay, let's go.
There's some men that, I mean, from my experience with guys in the past, they use it as like an ego boost. It's like, hey, I got my side chick over here, over there. I'm the man because I got so many options to choose from. Big huge sigh.
Shanika.
And I don't even know why I did that. Because I think women do it too.
Some women, not all women, but some.
I think some women do it as well.
I got this guy takes me out to dinner. This guy takes me out on vacation. She's got a guy for a different
job.
need.
Everybody have a job.
Yeah.
Everybody know their role.
Everybody play your position.
It takes a village.
It takes
Lord have mercy.
You are crazy. So let me ask this question. Do you think, and I've wondered this myself, do you think people nowadays are even interested in forming relationships? Or are they just interested in hooking up? Because it seems like people aren't willing to even get to know one another. They just want to hook up. Like, literally.
Primarily, that's what it
Hey,
looks.
what's your name? Can I come
So
through?
let me
Can I
ask,
come to your house?
Have you lived in Georgia for a while?
I've lived in Georgia all my life.
Okay, Georgia Peach. Will,
21 years.
Georgia.
Georgia.
So you, Shanika.
I'm a Buckeye at heart, though. But
This is Ohio over here.
Okay,
Miami.
Miami.
But I've been here 15 years.
Okay, so and I've been in Georgia for about 11. Some in Miami, some in Connecticut. So with that being said, I think we have enough adult years in the Atlanta or in Georgia. So the dating scene in Atlanta sucks.
Well, let me say this.
Let me say this. I'm going to piggyback off of something that Will said, depending on what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Primarily, to me, if you're looking for a relationship, if you're dating with purpose, the dating scene in Atlanta sucks.
Yeah.
Ass.
You want to just have a good time. It's
big
perfect.
ass.
Big ass, little ass.
Yeah, it's not very good.
It's not.
Yeah.
And why is that? We can name a lot of things. So we have 4 professional people sitting at this table. And I know that we may be a small sample of Atlanta, but it's 4 professional people who can say unanimously dating in Atlanta sucks.
Yeah.
Concerning.
It's concerning. Yes,
Agree,
I'll say that.
and it is concerning.
Heavy sigh.
Heavy sigh.
Hashtag big huge sigh.
I know. That needs to be the
Heavy
hashtag.
sigh. Like, I don't think...
But then that goes back to my question. Do you think people are even interested in relationships?
I think there are people that are interested in relationships. I think there are more people... And is it
reflected based on their actions?
I think there are more people that... Some people don't even know what a relationship looks like. Okay?
True.
I can agree with that.
So we did the poll. The poll was we wanted to hear about people's dating experiences. So this is a PSA that Pasha B has to women. A man coming over to your house to chill and watch Netflix is not fucking dating.
That's not a date.
Okay?
That is
not
a
a date.
hookup.
And I think if you were looking at it with your blinders off, you should have known that he was coming over to fuck. Well,
Will, you are speaking on behalf of all men.
like, come on now.
So you saying if someone comes to your house to
Why
watch
you
a
coming
movie.
to my house? We
And
just-
to watch-
No,
11 o'clock at night.
no.
Well, I'm
But-
saying-
hold up, hear me out. I'm not saying
Yes.
initially. I'm not saying initially.
Let me set up the scenario. This is not my experience.
This was a
FYI,
response
this was a
from-
response. So, let's say you meet someone. I don't care where you meet this. You can meet them at the gas station, the supermarket, whatever. Y'all have been talking on the phone, talking about going out on a date, and the first thing he says is, "Well, I could just come over to the house and we could watch TV, whatever." Red flag.
Agree.
So, if your intentions, talking to the women, if your intentions is to not have sex with this man or to not have anything more than a sexual relationship, then don't let him come over.
Right, you can make your own decision and say, well, yeah, that's really nice that you want to see me. Why don't we go to the coffee shop? Or why don't we go to here? Or
And if he does not go to the coffee shop, or if he doesn't initiate
Then
a
you
different
know.
type of date, then you know. So if you let him come over to your house, and
Or you go to his.
or you go to
Right.
his, and Netflix is on, your ass will be up.
But
And your face will be down.
I'm just
Right.
saying, maybe after all of that,
No,
then
Shanika,
we can get to know each other.
No,
You
Shanika.
know, I'm just saying.
I know what you're saying. Bullshit. I call bullshit.
No.
I mean,
I
there's
call
definitely
Because once he get this,
there's
all
definitely
it is, he
exceptions
gonna-
to everything. I mean, the first date with my ex-boyfriend, he came over, he brought groceries to my house. He went to Walmart. He was like, "Look, you need this." He like fixed my whole crib up. I'm like, okay, well, this
See,
is
but,
more than a
but,
date.
but you know what? There was something that you said where he came over with things.
Right. He brought me, groceries. He brought me stuff that I needed. He's like, well, hey, I really dig
First
you.
of
I
all,
think
does that make it okay? Because what I say is that was
Again.
a good plot. I hope
That
you
was a
hooked
good
that
date
man.
to me. He
I hope
came
you
over
hooked
and
that
supplied.
man up,
But,
Lady
but see, here it is.
Gotta
So,
note that.
check.
Yeah.
Grocery.
Bring some groceries.
That's what it is.
You would probably get a good reaction if you said to a woman for the first date that you were gonna buy the groceries. Maybe if she likes to cook, that you would buy the groceries, or if you say that you're gonna come over and cook. I'm still gonna tell you this. I think there's a high probability that you're gonna be fucking by the end of the night.
But at least it's a more of a connection.
It
Like, hey,
is.
we're cooking in
It
the
is.
kitchen. We're talking.
It is.
That's
Bonding.
more of a date.
It is. I'm not gonna say it's a date, Lady V.
Like if you come to the door in your necklace and your high heels, then you setting it up for something else.
Yeah.
I don't see that as a date. I don't care what you bring in.
Okay.
Initially,
Initially.
like I said, it comes down to the conversation that you have had leading up to that.
Mm-hmm.
Me, well, maybe I shouldn't say it, but oh well.
A friend, one of my friends.
I'm just speaking from, something that someone told me.
Okay.
This is not me
What you had
directly.
heard.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what I heard on the street. If the guy come to the house, first date,
Yeah.
I don't care what I'm bringing. I know what I'm leaving after.
There you go. Red flag.
Cause you getting the draws, dog. you
Most,
well,
I can't say it's a, guarantee because
that's
it just
your
depends.
intention. That's your intention.
That's your eye.
Let me tell you, sis. If I went to a guy's house first date, that would be my intention.
Because you can't have sex at a movie.
You
I mean,
can't.
you
I mean,
have sex
you-
at a
you
restaurant.
could.
But I'm saying it'd be really convenient. to
I'm
be
not
at the
saying
house.
me, but I'm just saying, you could go up to the top all the way at the back.
Pay that $10.75.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, if
But
that's-
it's more convenient if you in somebody's house, close the door. You can, But yeah, he knows what he wants if he
Yeah,
comes over
I
to your
just-
house.
Yeah.
It's just not an issue, but going to someone's house the first date is not good. I mean, to meet out, coffee shop. I don't drink coffee, but Starbucks,
You can have some tea at Starbucks.
There you go. Some juice. You
water,
juice or
water will
something.
do.
Water.
But
Meaning-
it's the conversation.
Yep. Absolutely. So the initial date, the initial date, having meaningful conversation that's important. So it doesn't have to be something where you're spending a lot of money. There are a lot of things that you can do for cheap. There's a lot of parks in Atlanta that you can go to and meet up with someone. Starbucks and things of that nature. So
there's a lot of poetry spots you can go to as well.
$5
So where do you find those people? Where do you find those people that are like-minded, I think, who wants to date with purpose? Or when I say purpose, it doesn't have to always be the end result relationship. I think the purpose is just not fucking up somebody else's life.
Exactly. You're going to blend your life with somebody, just don't fuck it up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So where do we find these people?
Definitely not on Instagram.
I'm listening. I don't know if there's a specific place. I remember, growing up, it was always like, oh, you want a nice woman, go to church. Well, I'm just saying that's not always the case because what you're doing on Saturday night
and what you're doing Sunday morning.
And then Sunday morning you praising or asking for forgiveness what you did the night before.
Well, I've seen a video on Facebook where they was twerking in church.
Yeah. I mean,
Jesus.
Yes. So it's changed. I personally don't know an ideal place to just say meet someone, and start dating.
Do you think a lot of people have withdrawn from the dating scene?
Mm-hmm.
Because people make it easy to just have sex.
Absolutely.
I mean, even aside from that, just not in the game altogether. I'm not dating. I'm not having sex with anybody. I'm just doing me.
I mean, you can do bad by yourself.
Mm-hmm. Do you find a lot of people are doing that, are practicing that?
Well, most of my friends happen to be married.
Okay.
So, and then there's me.
What you waiting on?
Waiting on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Having
And are you dating with purpose, Will? You're gonna put the spotlight on
when I date, it is with purpose, but that hasn't come across lately.
Okay, you've been in chill mode.
Yeah, if that's what you want to call it.
So let me ask. I'm going to be all over the place. This 90-day rule. How do you feel that relates to dating? Any of you practice a 90-day rule?
Tell us what we're clear, right?
Yeah,
so
what
we're
is it?
clear.
Define it first.
The
Define it.
90-day rule. Okay, so I don't know if Steve Harvey defined this or he just brought it to the forefront, but it's essentially waiting 90 days before you have any type of sexual contact with a person that you're dating. Because he feels as though, if I can remember from the book, he feels as though during that time frame, during the 90 days, that's the time frame you should be using to get to know that person. However, a lot of feedback that I've gotten is that guys don't care. If they'll wait the 90 days, they'll be counting down and still not the relationship.
Still dog you out. Still have your face down, ass up.
Exactly.
They don't care.
Exactly. Because, hey, they'll do whatever they have to do to get the end result.
Or they'll be doing other things within the 90 days and then get back to you
with
when
their
you
side chick,
right? Count down to your 90.
That's
Yeah.
what I was about to say.
Well, women.
So the question is, has anyone at the table
I don't believe in the 90-day rule.
utilized the 90-day rule, and what was the effect? Anyone?
Well, first of all,
Everybody at the table like,
let me tell you, Steve Harvey done fucked up. Excuse the French, but first of all, I'm not going to take advice from a man who's divorced twice or 3 times. I don't know.
It was 3. Yeah.
So his wife that he's married to now was a mistress to
the last
wife.
Oh, yeah.
So she was a mistress. So he's involved with her while he was married. So, dude, I'm not listening to you. You write this book, 90 days. I'm not putting no damn timetable on no 90 days. I react. I'm spontaneous. What I feel, of course, it's not going to be the first night. But
of course.
But in the morning, I'm joking. But for real, I don't feel that you should put labels on anything when it comes to dating. I don't feel you should say, hey, I have to wait like 20 days to hold your hand. Or, I'm just being funny. But when people put labels on that, it hurts.
the relationship?
Because I have been on both ends, and I have.
You rolled out them 90 days.
No, I didn't make it to 90.
You had to wait for some cooter?
Yeah. I thought this was the one, and
Okay.
you're waiting, and once it finally happened, you're like, I waited for this shit.
Wait!
No, that's not. You done
expectations
switched it.
was
You done
just
switched the topic just that quick.
90 days, and this is what
See,
So
you're
you
let
saying-
down.
Wait, are you saying the cooter was raggedy?
I'm just saying.
We had high expectations, and it didn't. The intent was not there, and the communication was not
90
there.
days, you waiting. Not that is the intent, but
The
you're feeling this
EIC was
person.
not.
You're feeling this person.
Shanika wants to ask, what is raggedy
Get
pussy?
out of my head.
I did want to ask that
I
question.
know you did.
Oh my God. Like,
Raggedy?
what does that look?
Define what raggedy pussy is.
I don't know. I don't
We
want
don't
to say.
use the P word.
Shitting me.
Stop. Cuda.
I don't know what raggedy means, but
Or ratchet. Let's say just ratchet.
whatever it is, I don't know what it means to say it's raggedy.
It was not satisfying.
Less satisfying cooter.
It's two people involved,
Okay.
so two people should be satisfied.
So
There
she
you
was a
go.
selfish lover?
There you go.
Was she selfish or did
I'm
she
just
not
saying.
give back?
It wasn't no giving.
Oh,
All taken.
oh my God. Y'all
So I'm waiting for this, and
Did she communicate to you beforehand that there was a time frame that she was waiting for?
she brought up the issue that she thought it would be best to wait.
So while you're waiting, we're talking about communication. So in the 90 days, was there a active conversation about what each person liked sexually?
No.
See, that's your fault. That's why you got that raggedy ass pussy.
See?
That's your fault. Okay.
So is that part of a conversation? Not about
You
the
waited 90 days.
No, I didn't make it to 90. I told
What you made
that.
it to?
It wasn't 90. but
30.
it was about
30.
half of that.
Okay.
About 40 days.
40 days. So within 40 days, this is one issue that I have. We will meet people at the club and do some of the freakiest things with each other that first night, right? But you'll wait 40 days and won't have a conversation with someone at the end of whatever the waiting period is of what you like sexually? My gosh.
Well, I mean, if you're waiting, during that time frame, what are you really not talking about it because you're not going
I
to get it?
think you should be talking.
Well, that should be one of the things.
Wait, she
That should
said
be
you
one of the things.
I think
One of many
we
topics
are
of conversation.
exactly one of many topics, but we are all mature adults. We should be able to communicate what we like and dislike sexually. We should have that open conversation so that when it does happen, you're not looking at me with the stank face because I didn't know that you wanted me to twirl on it because you never told me you wanted to twirl. I'm serious.
Like, you didn't write that in the
You
contract.
didn't write that. We didn't talk about that. That was not in the contract. Why is it that we don't talk about sex? Why not?
Because we don't want to seem like we're freaks. We don't want to seem like we're easy. We don't want to seem, the whole image thing.
Or on the flip side, like a prude, like
Right.
you're uptight and you're
Or
or
you don't want it to come off that that's what you want.
Right.
Only.
That's your intention.
So
I
if
only want you
I
for that.
meet you and we're just talking, we've already discussed it, we're going to wait, which is fine. I'm not going to keep talking about this every day.
Hey, by the
Right.
way, Excuse me,
I know we're going to wait, but, when this happens, I like the lights dim.
I want you to in
put
a
this on,
silk
put some
bikini.
soft music on.
I don't think it's to talk about it every day. I do think it's to talk about it. I think what we can honestly say is that we don't talk about it. So when the experience is bad, no matter if it's day 1 or day 90 and it's bad. And so when you go get your hair cut, if you're not going to your regular barber who done felt you up a couple times, I'm talking about your scalp, not your body. if you're not going to your regular barber who knows how you like your haircut, when you get into the chair with a new barber, you tell the man, I want this, right? We go to the barber and we tell them what we want. We go to a restaurant. I am very particular
please
about
don't
my
go
food.
eat with Pat.
And
Please.
And if I order very specifically. I don't care if I'm at Chick-fil-A. I'm ordering specifically because
I know.
that's how it is.
Right.
I want my chicken well done, no pickles, please.
Oh
And my expectation is that my meal is going to come because I didn't leave it up to you to give me my food the way that you want it to or the way that it's normally served. I said I wanted it a specific way. So, in talking about sex, why are we not talking about what we want and what we don't want? I don't get it. I'm serious about
we
this.
might not want to hurt the other person's feelings or whatever. It's just like, oh yeah, I know you good or whatever. I'm not going to tell you what to do.
But sex, we're not having sex because we just don't want to hurt people's feelings. We're having sex because we want to enjoy sex.
The pleasure, yeah.
Bottom line. So how do you get something pleasurable out of something on a whim? You hoping it's going to be good.
You don't want to boss somebody around like that. You know, you're like, oh, you better do it this way. I'm going to be mad.
Oh, what about the follow-up conversation? So afterwards, was there so not you necessarily saying this was whack, but next time can we do it like this? Or next time.
What's there next time?
Exactly. You ran out the door. You're like, forget you.
All I know is.
You know how to redeem herself?
All I know
Nope.
is.
My God.
Nope.
Relationships.
Nope. You done answered the question. Nope.
Yeah, you're right. But relationships, regardless how nice it's going or you progressing to a long-term relationship, once you're intimate, the game changes. It completely changes. It's either going to get better or it's going to get worse. It never stays the same. So whatever your conversation was before you were intimate, if you didn't talk about sex before and it was raggedy, you definitely ain't going to talk about it after.
So even if you like the person?
If you like them, then of course you want to, try to work through whatever.
What's something that you can't? What's something sexually that you can't make better through talking? What's the deal breaker on it? What's raggedy pussy?
That's the question of the day.
So I'm like, what can a woman not redeem herself from, or
Something that can't be corrected.
Can't be taught.
Yeah.
can't be taught? I like that. What can't be taught?
That's a good question.
One thing.
I really don't know it.
Bad head. Deal breaker.
The woman has to be willing.
Okay.
A woman
But you
can
didn't
be.
let her know that you weren't satisfied. So how did she know to correct that?
A woman can be. It just depends on the woman. If she wants to satisfy the man, she's going to satisfy him.
If you just lay there and expect it, like you were saying, give, and all she's doing is taking. That's not fair. She just laying there taking everything.
Right. It's different, and I'm always going back to men and women because it's different. A woman can always do better.
Elaborate. Elaborate.
I'm saying a woman can always, if it's not well because of whatever, the performance, it can always change. The woman can always change. But the man, you're going to get what you're going to get from a man. If you want John Holmes and you getting Pee Wee Herman, that is not going to change.
Ladyvee, what do you have to say about that? Because I disagree with that.
I think performance-wise, there's certain things that men can do to. I mean, they can't grow a longer dick or whatever. But there's some certain things that men can do. You could, more foreplay. You could, have like toys and then I guess maybe like whipped cream and strawberries and a bit. You can like try different things or whatever. It's not
Pay her.
It's not all on the
Give her
woman
cash.
Wow.
So I mean, it takes a very mature imagination to say, well, there's definitely things that a woman can do to enhance the experience, but there's certain things, a masculine man walking in with, his, I'm not going to elaborate on that. I mean, if you got a very mature imagination, a man can walk in a room and just be different every single time. It's going to be a really great experience.
And I think it goes back to even getting to know the person because certain things may turn you on, because I know they said foreplay for a woman begins way before the bedroom. So there are certain things that you can do depending on your love language. Remember we talked about love language? So my love language is acts of service. if you come and you wash some dishes and vacuum the floor, I am very stimulated. So
Okay.
my love language is cash.
Okay. Cash,
but things like that.
grocery, washing dishes.
But if you don't even get to know what stimulates her or what she appreciates
By communicating.
by
like
communicating.
a prostitute you found on the street. It's
Yeah, you just riding out your time. Then that, I think, that leads into you having the lack of performance or lack of satisfaction that you receive. So again, maybe if a conversation happened afterwards, or if it didn't happen before, even afterwards, saying, hey, just kind of get in her mind a little bit and see what stimulates her.
I think I kind of know what happened. Like after the 40 days or whatnot, it was just like, well, during before that time y'all got in the bed, it's like y'all didn't talk about anything sensual or sexual. So it's just kind of like after the 40 days, it's like, well, yeah, I'm done with you now. Well, never mind. But it's like there's never no conversation. It's like that EIC, the conversation needs to take place. So I agree with that.
Well,
if you don't know a woman, how do you know how to please a woman?
Yeah. Well, communication is the key with everything.
So I asked about this bad head. Is that a deal breaker? And you didn't answer.
I'm not gonna say a deal breaker because you can be taught.
Okay.
Bad
Yeah.
head is not a deal
So what
breaker.
does
All
Whack penis look like?
Yeah, exactly.
Ladyvee.
I want to hear. I want to hear all this
They
about.
need to hear it because I think
Hold up,
Go ahead,
Sneaker.
go ahead,
We
yes.
say, we're talking about bad pee and all this, and head not good. I mean, for a woman, how is it that ladies feel if a man come and his shit whack? What is whack?
Yes.
I want to know that. What the hell is whack?
And I just want to just add on to it because I think so much emphasis are placed on women satisfying men and women catering to men and women being this for a man, and like men need to know they have some deficiencies as well. Really. So
Really?
the question again, how does whack penis look?
In my opinion,
What I had heard
off the street, like we said before. In my opinion, I believe that a man that doesn't have any confidence, a man that has low self-esteem, a man that doesn't believe in himself or whatever, he can't perform in the bed because it's just like, he doesn't believe that he can do it. It's just like, if you walk in, you're confident, like, I'm going to treat you well, this is going to be a great experience, blah, 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 and he's got, a mature imagination or whatever, then you never know what you're going to get from that. That's exciting to me. But if you walk in there and you're like, oh, man, this woman's so beautiful, and I don't know if I can pleasure her, it's like, come on, man up. And so definitely a man with confidence has a better I guess D experience than a guy that's like, oh man, I'm just, I don't know if I can do this right, or like a guy that's never had sex before. So that's bad P to me.
Miss Pasha B, because you're looking at me and I'm looking at you. Pasha B, go ahead and answer the question.
Please, I want to hear this.
So I think I'm not gonna say what it looks like. I'm gonna tell you what I think it doesn't look like. Okay, so then I will say that Whack D is a selfish man. I think the sexual act is about not only satisfying yourself but satisfying the person that you're with. So if you're just in it for yourself and not trying to make it an enjoyable moment for the both of you guys, then I think you got whack dick.
What if his ability to make it an enjoyable experience
Elaborate.
only I'm not finished my
Elaborate.
only consists of 180 seconds? Get the fuck out of here. That's all he has. He gave it his all in 3 whole minutes.
So again,
Does size matter?
If you're gonna hurt me, I'm gonna be
No.
concerned about that. If I gotta go to the doctor,
what?
size does matter. Size does. Let's. Size
So we're
does
not
matter.
talking about the anomaly micro penis.
No,
That's
size
all-
does
She has
matter.
this thing with micro penises. But
Size does matter.
I
Okay.
believe it
Too
does.
big or too small, that'll be a problem. Size does matter. If you can't feel it, why are we doing it? First and foremost. And if I can feel everything,
I'm trying to cater to the sensitive. guys out there.
I think get your cash up.
Stop, you know.
Okay,
Is that gonna make it better?
you don't have to have sex. Just give me
my
the cash.
Oh Lord.
I'm playing.
She ain't playing, y'all.
She walking into a room with dollar bills on the bed and everything.
Wow.
That turns her on.
Honey, she busting up just seeing that.
Welcome to the A. It's the A, baby.
I think that if you have a deficiency, then you need to.
It's a good 3 minutes.
So it may be a good 3 minutes for the actual sexual act, but I think your before game need to be strong.
If you don't have any spark, if you don't have any sexual chemistry with that person, it's not good. And so definitely a man that can, the foreplay and the imagination, all that, you can connect with that person and have a chemistry with them, that's good sex.
Right.
Regardless of the time frame.
If it's 3 minutes, then you take a break and you go another 3 minutes, you go another 3 hours. It don't have to be just 3 minutes.
We're going to do it in intervals.
Right. I'll get you some lemonade, I'll make you a sandwich, we'll come back, it'll be another,
She making sandwiches, y'all. It was good. If you get that sandwich, it was good.
But if you do 3 minutes and then leave, then we may have to have a conversation.
Right. 3 minutes and leave.
Nah.
You're not coming back. But 3 minutes and other things, blah blah
Massage
blah.
my legs,
Yeah.
massage my back.
But-
Now we do another 3 minutes.
But if you only
No.
You may need to take a breather.
Time out.
time
I'm
out.
out, exactly.
Can't you tap out before? Like
If you go
like
within a half
so
minute.
right. So if you know that you last 3 minutes, and I'm gonna need you to go for about 2, and then you need to tap out.
Well, I think we'll jump in whenever you want to. I think people who know their bodies and
Right.
are in tuned.
Mm-hmm.
I think guys, what I've heard is mentally they'll kind of go somewhere else, or they'll reposition while they,
Yeah.
when they feel themselves about
Right.
to, be hit that point. Jump it. I'm okay, Will. That's
Yeah, I'm just waiting. I'm
Are these
waiting
some
on my
of the
time to
techniques
jump.
you all use?
There are some
Basketball,
techniques that has been
basketball,
used.
Football.
The whatever sporting events going on at the time.
Okay.
It just depends on the person, and if you're like, this is not me. Happened to
course,
me. This
of
just
course.
happened to
Somebody you
people that I talk to
Mm-hmm.
at a younger age. When you finally intimate, the whole excitement and the build up, you get there and you finally get up in there and you feel this wet moisture around
Why
you.
you
Wet,
feeling all of that?
Warm? Is it
You can't help it.
right? What wet
Once you
warm?
get in,
It's like apple pie for real.
yeah,
Yes.
it is apple pie.
Okay.
You get the tip in and you're like,
Oh my God.
you know the rest is coming. And that
So
feeling,
it can be an overwhelming experience the first time.
initially it is overwhelming.
Okay.
Initially,
That's honesty, and I like that.
Yes.
Honesty is very sexy.
yes, it is.
But you also need to know how to control that too. And that comes with maturity.
That comes with age and maturity. You don't know anything at 18, 19, I mean, however old you are. That first time, I don't care who you think you are, but once you get all the way in,
Warm apple pie.
hey,
Warm apple pie.
that's all you're thinking about.
You will never eat an apple pie the
It will never be the same.
No.
But as you get older, you with the whole communication, and you don't want to ejaculate early, so you are talking to your mate, telling them whatever. You say your little breaks or move and position yourself. I mean, you work around whatever it takes. You know yourself. If you full pump or full hump, that's all you're gonna get. If you know that, that's all you can. Then
break
you
at
need to do 2, stop, talk, go get a glass of water,
That's what I'm saying.
whatever. Turn the music louder. I mean, whatever it takes to. But it comes with communicating with the person, and you should want to satisfy your mate and not just get off. I get more satisfaction off of the woman having an orgasm than me.
He's an unselfish
Sound like an
lover.
ego trip.
I don't think so. I think
No ego here.
No ego.
I don't think so.
I just keep
actually-
it will.
There you go.
don't think that's an ego thing. I actually think that's a relatable. I can relate to that. I do. So, okay.
Talking about dating woes, I want to go back to some of the challenges. The superficial challenges that we put on others when we are seeking out companionship. So Pasha and I talk about this all the time. You've heard her mention these coins quite a few times over here and their dollars. Is that important as far as their job, what they do, how much money they make, what type of car they drive? Does that represent anything substantial in getting to know somebody? Or do you think it should? Do you think it should matter?
I think if you're trying to be in a relationship, it's more convenient if I don't have to come and pick you up and take you places. I mean, I know.
What if you have a MARTA car?
But I'm saying you don't have to have a Lamborghini. You don't have to have a Maserati or whatever. But if you have a car and you can take me out and stuff, then that's convenient. That's great. If you had a job and you don't have to lay on my sofa, and have me pay your bills and stuff, that's great. It's just a convenience thing to me. It's just like I don't look for men like, oh, if you don't have this certain standard, I'm not gonna date you or whatever. But if you're riding MARTA and I'm picking you up every day to take you places and stuff, I'm like, look, ain't nobody got time for that.
Absolutely. What about, because Ladyvee, I see, I think I may be the tallest one, but you in this club too. So we're very statuesque women. Height. Mm-hmm. Does that matter?
I think a taller man than me is very sexy. That's just preference. That's just my opinion.
Is it a deal breaker if he's shorter?
If he's shorter than me and he's a good man.
Did you see how she put her hand at her chin? It went down. If he's shorter than me.
He's a good man, I'm really like, I got to get to know you or whatnot. But just if I'm out at the grocery store or whatever and I see a shorter man, I'm not going to be attracted to him. If I see a taller man out somewhere.
Hey, Miss Lady, how you doing?
Exactly.
Let me take care of that for you.
Let me buy your groceries.
Yeah. Is he getting the number?
I mean, like I said, if I'm at a club or whatever and I'm scanning the club audience, I'm not going to be like, oh, that shorter guy is real cute. Mm-hmm. It's just, to me, in my opinion, taller guys in the club are just, sexier to me. Mm-hmm. But, if you're a short guy and you've got a personality, you've got like charm, you're
Kevin
a good
Hart.
man, a good heart, exactly.
He
good
said Kevin Hart.
Oh.
Coins.
Not Kevin Hart.
Coins.
Pasha,
He stands on his wallet. He about 3 feet tall.
Exactly. I mean, that's being, like you said, image and superficial and everything. If you're a shorter guy and you're a good man, then hey.
Do you think shorter guys have to work harder?
I think they do. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of women that's like, if you're shorter than me, I gotta look down on you. Okay.
Will, so superficial. What if a woman is clinically obese?
That was a response.
That was a response from the poll.
She said she was curvy. She showed up and she was clinically obese.
Is that an automatic deal breaker, or do you have a very specific, look that you're looking for, or what?
Everyone has their own particular style. Mm-hmm. Me? Are you asking me specifically?
I need you to keep it real. I need you to keep it real.
Or is this just for men?
For you.
For me?
For you.
For me individually, no. I'm not I can't do
You're not a
heavy
chubby chaser?
Chubby chaser? No,
But
that's
you
not.
kind of built there. You got some strength.
I'm not a chubby chaser. I'm sorry.
If she's bigger than you, it's like.
So what if she has all the other qualities that you're looking for except the physical?
I'm a visual person.
Gotcha.
So before anything takes place, mentally, I'm looking at this person and I'm visualizing myself with this person. And I really don't think that, I'm not going to say really don't think, but big girl, take a lot of drinking for things.
Oh my God, disrespectful.
Hey, no, you said keep it real. I'm just telling you with me.
That will for him, not for all men.
This is not me.
Go ahead.
I'm just speaking for me. I have nothing. I love my.
You love. I know.
My heavier ladies because
she just ain't getting it.
I know one thing, brother gonna eat right.
See.
You know what I'm saying?
On the first day, she bringing over some apple pie for you.
Disrespectful.
No, I have thousands of friends, and it always seems as though the slim guys, the shorter guys like the bigger ladies for whatever reason.
Slim and shorter like the bigger ladies.
Yeah. From what I've seen, you get a slim guy. You think that's an ego?
Why would it be an ego thing?
Because, and maybe you all experience this too, like the shorter guys have all the confidence in the world. They will walk up to you like, and I think they have something to prove. Like, you come to me I'm 6 feet, you 5'4", and you coming to me, you trying to prove something. Like, yeah, I can handle that. I just want to see if regardless of what comes out of your mouth, in my head, what's going on in your brain is, this is a challenge. This is a challenge.
So
let me see if I can.
Complex?
I don't think it's maybe a touch of that, but I think it's let me see if I can. This is a challenge. Let me see if I can, get this or whatever. So same thing with the skinny guy. Well, skinny guy's strong. I'll just say that.
From experience?
It sounds like it.
No.
The way that you answer
I'm
that,
just saying.
they strong.
I'm just saying. Don't let the size fool you.
Okay.
But I think that's also comes with, this could be a challenge in handling this person. That's me in my head.
Yeah, but I just feel it's just a preference. It doesn't matter. I mean, whatever you find that is attracted to you.
That's the chemistry part.
Like I said, I have lots of friends. I have like my best friend here. He's, I'm not gonna go into that, but
you ain't gonna tell his business?
Nah.
Right.
I'm just going to say friends that I know. Slim guy, really good friend of mine. He's not going to be involved with a small, short woman. Not necessarily short, but petite. No. He's trying to move her out the way to get to the bigger girl. So, I mean, there are a lot of guys that prefer...
What's his name? Where you at?
Like they got a big girl face.
I know. What's
There's
his
a lot
number?
of guys that prefer more statuous ladies.
I like that.
Voluptuous.
Yes.
And there are some
That don't.
don't.
Well, the same would go for women. Women, I think, are usually attracted to men that are taller than them because I think it's a security thing. It's a comfort thing. So everybody has their preference, like Will said.
Look at you trying to be mature. Don't act.
No, don't act. I never. I'm still saying that tall guys are winning. Like,
So tall as in what? What's the height? Because I just need that.
taller than you, taller than me. I think
Taller
most
than you?
women
Taller than the
as
average.
long-
So the average height of a woman is what, 5'7"?
we looked that up. It was
5'5".
That's average?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
so I don't think any of us at this table is considered an average height.
Oh no.
Oh my God.
I mean, no, I don't mean it in a bad way. I'm just saying.
I mean, I'll just make a point that my ex-boyfriend was shorter than me, and he left me for a woman that was shorter than him. So
How much shorter?
Just a little bit short. I saw pictures. I'm just like,
The
I
nerve
was too tall for him.
The
Oh,
nerve of
okay.
this short ass nigga. Somebody.
It might be a thing where men would like women that are shorter than they are, just so they can feel like, yeah, I'm protecting you. And I was like, I might have been too tall for that guy. You never know.
Exactly.
I don't know.
What?
Hey, look.
What?
I don't look at height. I look at girth.
If you can't pick her up and throw her around,
I'm
if you can't
not,
carry her up the
exactly.
stairs.
I mean, I'm not trying to hurt myself. You know,
There you go.
You know your limitations.
I know my limitations, and I'm not going to put either one of us in a position where there's going to be a problem. So,
Oh my goodness.
we're going to make this easy on both of us.
There you go. It's convenience. You don't want to hurt nobody in the bedroom.
No.
I understand.
No.
All right. So I think that we're somewhat at the end. We're going to say this is part one.
This has to be part one because we haven't gotten to what we're going to do about this because it's not looking good for single people out here.
It's not.
And we haven't gotten to the resolution. What do we do about this? Moving forward,
I don't think we know. We're on that side where we're looking. I think we should have representatives from the other side because we can't come up with no resolution.
I think the resolution is about being intentional, but I think individuals have to understand what that looks like. what does being intentional or purposeful dating, how that looks.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I think it's a broader conversation, and I think there are a lot of personal issues, emotional issues people have that they have to deal with within themselves before they even move to the intentional dating or purposeful dating.
Absolutely.
So I guess we can, wrap this up by saying part one of the conversation.
Well, I was going to say part one is our dating woes, and then we were going to do our part two, which is our next show, because we're going to have the same guest with us. So
that's going to lead into a part three and part four.
Hey,
this is going to be a never-ending segment.
We're going to get to a solution.
We're going to get to a solution.
We're going to talk about some solutions.
We're going to talk about some solutions.
Okay.
So this is going to be part one. Part two is going to be our next show.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we had some very good conversation.
Yes.
So we've learned that pussy's like warm apple pie.
Yes.
Okay. Whack dick is more of the action versus the actual penis.
No, know your limitations.
Know your limitations.
Know your limitations. If you need to take a break,
okay. Be confident. Know your limitations.
Yeah. If you're a 4-pump dude at 2, take a break.
Know your limitations.
Yeah.
Short dudes have to work harder.
Yeah.
Tall dudes are winning.
Yes.
Anything else?
Be honest.
Honest.
From the
Be
jump.
honest.
People value honesty.
Value honesty and learn how to communicate.
Mm-hmm.
EIC.
Say what you
EIC.
mean. Mean
And
what you
mean what
say.
you say.
Saves a lot of time.
All right. So this is the end of today's show. Like to thank everybody who's here. We're actually going to have Ladyvee in show 2 with something special. So it's like a continuation.
Okay.
All right. So Real Talk with Pasha B supports art and those that create it. For all things that's we're doing here, you can visit ordinarypeoplemedia.com. That's our new home. All right. Does anybody have anything else closing to say?
Thank you for the time.
I just want to thank Will E and Ladyvee for coming out and co-hosting this podcast with us. The feedback was great. Thoroughly enjoyed you all. So thank you for coming out.
Thank you for having me. Yay, thank you for
you.
having us.
All right.
Appreciate the opportunity.
And warm apple pie,
Warm apple pie goes a long way.
Goes a long way. All right. We're out.